welcome to the tutorial where we want to show you how to create a report control log with CoMPAS and how to connect that report control log to a client application. In our case, we have a very simple project here that contains a server that shall publish the report control log, and we have a HMI client that is the one who shall enable the report control log. First of all, we have to create a report control log. For that, you can click on the ID you want to add the report control log to, and then click on R, where you can see and list all report control logs. Here we don't have a report control log yet. By clicking on Add Report, a wizard opens that guides you through the process, where you can add all the information that is needed to create such a control log, such a report control log. First of all, name. I would call it switchgear report. You can add a description, as you can add to all SEL elements. You can choose whether you want to create a unbuffered or a buffered control log. You can add a report ID when it's disabled. It's the report control log reference with MMS. And you can define whether this report is an indexed report, so whether there are multiple instances of the report in the ID. In our case, it is, and we will choose to have only one instance. That ID, we can set the buffer time, and we can set the integrity period, which I will disable because I don't want to have the report being periodically published. The same thing for trigger on data attribute. I don't have any data in the report that has such a trigger. I would like to set all optional fields just because I want to potentially use them in my client application. And I would like to add the position of the control log as well as the interlocking information. To the report control log. Now you can check back if the report has been created, and you can see all the setting values of that report control log. So as you can see, all the values have been taken over as we have typed them in. You can see the trigger options, you can see the optional fields, you can see the data set, and you can also see in the Pro mode, if you start to work with CoMPAS and you don't know whether this tool is doing it correctly, you can see the code that has been added in the background to the SEL file here, and the same with the data set. Okay, so now that we have a report control log, we can connect it to the client application, and for that you need to click on the client and click on that button that allows to create so-called client LN elements. And here you can choose on the left-hand side from the sources. That is a list with all the report control logs in the project. In our case, it's only one, the one that we have created. And on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, you have all the client functionality. IHMI is such a possibility. And if you select all your report control logs on the left-hand side and the sync on the right-hand side and connect, and you can see that such a connection has been added. When you click on the communication mappings, that contains all connections in the project, including goose, sampled value, and also report connections. And if you are not lucky with it, you can also disable it, but you can, of course, always undo the steps that you've done. Yeah, thanks for listening in. That is how you can create a report control log with CoMPAS, and you can connect it to a client application through the client LN element.